This is Jay's Nation News. And today the conversation is heavy because in just a few hours, the face of an era walked out the door. Bichette is officially no longer a Toronto Blue Jays player. At the same time, the market closed off important offensive options. And behind the scenes, the front office has already started recalculating everything. If you truly follow this team, you feel the impact before even looking at the numbers. So leave your like, subscribe, stay with me until the end. Because today this isn't just news. It's a reading of direction. Update 1, Bichette. The end of an era. It's over. Bichette signed a 6-year, $126 million contract with the New York Mets. And when the news broke, the impact was immediate, not just because of the number, not just because of the destination, but because of what he represented here. And what stood out the most, honestly, wasn't the contract value. It was a farewell. Shortly after the confirmation, Bo went straight to social media. No script, no cold tone. Toronto, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We grew together. That doesn't sound like a rehearsed line. That sounds like someone who truly understands the weight of what he lived in this city. Bichette was not just an all-star shortstop. He was a visible symbol of the rebuild, the player who carried the transition. 7 seasons wearing this uniform, leading the league in hits in more than one of them, showing up day after day. When the team clicked, he was there. When the team wavered, he stayed there, producing, holding the lineup together, giving predictability to a roster that didn't always have it. And that's why this departure hurts more than it seems at first glance. For the Blue Jays, the loss goes far beyond the position. The lineup loses identity. The infield loses stability. The sense of continuity disappears. The front office tried to compete, tried to keep the core piece. But when Steven Kwan comes in aggressively, the game changes. The market changes. The ending changes. And now, Toronto is left facing a technical and emotional void that cannot be solved with a simple replacement, because players can be replaced. Symbols cannot. Update 2. What Toronto is trying to avoid moving forward. And this is where the analysis gets more delicate, because losing Bo doesn't create a new problem. It exposes an old one. A roster built with an extremely high talent ceiling, but with a minimal margin for error. When everything clicks, it works. When a central piece leaves, any imbalance turns into a crisis. Without Bichette, that risk is fully exposed. There's no buffer anymore. There's no comfort zone. That's why, after losing Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers and watching Cody Bellinger return to Yankees, the focus shifts completely. The free agent market no longer offers real answers. So Toronto starts looking at the trade market, not to shine, but to stabilize. And that's where the name Steven Kwan starts to make internal sense. Not as an immediate impact star, but as a support piece. A player who holds the top of the lineup, who doesn't need to force plays, who delivers value every single day. Kwan offers exactly that. Elite defense, offensive consistency, smart speed, zone control. In 2025, a .272 average, 22 stolen bases, Gold Glove once again. These aren't numbers that scream headlines, but they are numbers that prevent collapse. He doesn't replace Bichette's emotional or symbolic impact, but he helps prevent the team from slipping into a silent domino effect, the kind that only shows itself when it's already too late. And looking ahead, that matters even more. Springer and Varsho are approaching the end of their contracts. The window isn't infinite. The problem, of course, is the price. Cleveland doesn't give up an all-star cheaply. Never has. Toronto will have to decide whether to use a farm system now or accept a more painful transition period, because this winter made one thing very clear. The project has entered a new phase, and from here on out, every decision has to be cold, calculated, because one mistake here costs years. At the end of the day, this isn't just a player saying goodbye. It's a real test of the front office's vision. I want to know what you think. Would you go after Kwan? Or do you prefer a different approach after Bo's departure? Write it down below. I read every single one. Leave a like if this video helped you understand where the team stands. Subscribe so you don't miss the next moves. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Jay's Nation News.